Welcome to my Pittsburgh Steelers 2023 NFL Mock Draft 4.0. So, in this mock draft, it's going to be completely different than any other mock draft I've done so far on the channel. In my previous mock drafts, I was looking at certain positions, like offensive line, and only addressing needs of what I thought the Steelers were going to do. But in this mock draft, it's what I would do if I was the person making the decisions, if I was a GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, with that being said, in the first round, pick number 17 in this year's draft, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting cornerback Deonte Banks out of Maryland. So, I believe cornerback is the most important position right now for the Steelers. Steelers lack anyone at cornerback. Yes, I said Patrick Peterson, but he's so old, 33 years of age, that he's not the guy he used to be. And the Steelers have Levi Wallace and Cullen Witherspoon. Even though Levi Wallace was solid for the Steelers, they still don't have a lockdown cornerback. And selecting cornerback Deonte Banks out of Maryland gives someone with the potential to lock down opposing team's number one wide receiver and follow him. The Steelers haven't had that forever. They haven't had that for a long time, and now they get the potential with Deonte Banks. So, the top reasons to buy in with Deonte Banks out of Maryland at pick number 17. He's a plus level size and length guy. He has good reactionary athleticism. He's a very physical press corner. So, you heard me say he has very good athleticism. Looking at his 40-yard dash time, he has a 4.35 second 40-yard dash. And also, his vertical jump is 42 inches. His broad jump is 11 inches and 1/4. So, he has good athleticism. The top reasons for concern is his injury history, his top end speed, but he kind of debunked that with his 40-yard dash time, and his lack of production in the passing game. So, with Deonte Banks, the biggest concern is he hasn't had that much turnovers in his college career. But just looking at the film, if you watch the film, he's going to line up right over the wide receiver. He's going to press him at the line, and he's always following the wide receiver. When you look at the wide receivers that he plays against, very rarely would you see him unattached from the wide receiver. He's always right next to him making a play on the ball, either swiping away or just being right next to him, being a glue guy. When you look at Deonte Banks, he's a very physical corner. And when I watch the film, I see that he's rare reactionary athleticism for a corner of his size. He shows the ability to flip his hips, run vertical, then sink his hips and break down toward the ball. So he's very good at switching direction. And when you look at him, he's 6 feet tall. He weighs 197 pounds. His arm length is 31 inches and 3/8. His hand size is 9 inches and 3/8. So just everything overall from his body type and his athleticism and his film show that he has the potential to lock down opposing team's number one wide receiver. And with development from the Pittsburgh Steelers, hopefully he could increase the turnovers. Because we know the Pittsburgh Steelers love turnovers. And with him developing in the Steelers system, maybe a team that led the whole league in interceptions this past season, maybe he could learn from that and develop that into his game. So, that was the first pick. Now, with the second pick in this year's draft, pick number 32 in the second round, first pick of the second round, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting offensive tackle Darwin Jones. So, the Steelers love Darwin Jones, just from his pro day, the combine, and just his body type. He's the type of offensive tackle that the Steelers love. The Steelers love offensive tackles that are big and strong. And looking at Darwin Jones, he stands at 6'8", 374 pounds. He's an absolute monster. And his arm length is insane. 36 inches and 3/8. His hand side, 11 inches and 5/8. But the thing that's not great is his 40-yard dash time, 5.35 seconds. But that doesn't matter because he's a guy who the Steelers love that's going to put their head down and be a people's mover. You always hear Mike Tomlin saying that. People's mover. And that's exactly what Darwin Jones is. He's a guy who's big, but he's not just big and doesn't know how to use his body. He's a big guy that is able to use his body to his advantage. When you look at him in the pass game, he's great because of his arm length. He uses his arm length to defend the defenders off. He just sticks his arm and can just hold you there because of how strong he is and how big his arms are. And when you look at the top reasons to buy in with him, obviously, like I said, he's rare size and length, his functional strength, but not only that, he can move as well. You might think a guy of his size, 6'8", 374 pounds, he won't be able to move, but he's really quick on his feet. He could reach the edge. Yes, he's still tight in the lower half, but his ability to get out there and do the job if needed is great. The top reasons for concern is, obviously, like I said, he might have a tight lower half, heavy feet, and just his total range in general. Even though just from the film his range was fine, that might be a reason of concern because of how fast guys are in the NFL. But overall, he's just a person the Steelers love, and that body type and his strength and everything about him. And also, the Steelers showed much interest in him in the pro day and the combine. So that's a pick at pick number 32. And now, moving on to the third pick for the Steelers. Still in the second round, pick number 49 at the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting cornerback Emmanuel Forbes. So, you might think, 2 cornerbacks in the top 3 picks. Well, I said the Steelers need cornerback, and now they get another one in Emmanuel Forbes. Looking at Emmanuel Forbes, so far the Pittsburgh Steelers have showed much interest in him. They brought him in for interviews, they met with him at the combine, they've done everything in terms of getting knowledge on the cornerback. And now, the top reasons to buy in with this pick is his ball production, his coverage versatility, and his football intelligence and instincts. He stands at 6'1", weighs 166 pounds. His arm length is 32 inches and 1/4. His hand size is 8 inches and 1/2. So, you might be thinking, he might be the lowest weight of any quarterback in a very long time. But why do I have them picking him? Well, his instincts for the ball are insane. He had 6 interceptions at Mississippi State, and 3 of them went back for points. He has so much pick sixes and interceptions in his career in college that his production the next level is huge. And just looking at the Steelers love a quarterback or just a defensive player in general who's going to commit turnovers and get turnovers to get the offense the ball. That's something Terrell Austin and Mike Tomlin love. And Forbes led Mississippi State in interceptions with 6. So bringing him into the Steelers system is huge. The only downside with Emmanuel Forbes is obviously, like I said, his slim build and frame, but he makes so much aggressive plays as well on the film that he doesn't shy away from it. You might think because he weighs little that he might not play big. Well, he still shows aggressive play style, and that's a good thing because we know the Steelers love also a guy who has a play style that's aggressive. So, when I look at Emmanuel Forbes, I see instincts. I see a guy who's going to read the play before it happens. The ball's in the air, and he's already cutting back to it. And you might think a young cornerback might not have ball skills. Like I said, Deontay Banks, he's not really a ball guy. But if they want a ball guy, get Emmanuel Forbes. So, Emmanuel Forbes, add him into the Steelers defense, can be a huge thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Moving on to the 4th pick for the Steelers. In the round 3, pick number 80, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting Jordan Battle, safety out of Alabama. So, you might be thinking, Alabama safety. There's another guy in the draft who the Steelers really like, Brian Branch, for example. But they wait. They wait for safety and get Jordan Battle with 3rd round pick number 80. So, with Jordan Battle, he's a guy who's a versatile defensive back. He plays safety, and he has high IQ as a player. And also, his fluid movement skills are insane. And also, he's physical as a tackler. But the top reasons for concern is his consistency as a tackler and his man-to-man coverage. But the Steelers, when they look at strong safety, they want a guy who's going to be able to play in the box. A guy who's not going to be afraid to seek out contact in the run game. And that's something that Jordan Battle doesn't shy away from. Jordan Battle stands at 6'1", weighs 209 pounds. His arm length is 32 inches. His hand size is 8 inches and 1/2. Yes, his 40-yard dash time is 4.55 seconds, so it's really solid. It's not over blazing or it's not too slow. It's kind of just in the middle for a strong safety. And he plays a lot like Terrell Edmunds, a guy who's not going to leave his man wide open in the game. He's not going to leave his guy in the run game. He's going to be a really solid guy for the Steelers. And at that pick number 3 in the 3rd round, that's what you kind of look for the Steelers and what they're looking for as a safety in general. So, this mock draft has come to an end. I'm going to end it here with only 4 picks total going up to the 3rd round. Yes, there's so many more picks to do, but as it gets later in the draft, you just don't know who's going to fall and who's going to rise and what is really a good selection. So I think it's really solid in this year's draft, and I think you get a theme of what I've been doing in this mock draft. I've been selecting defensive backs, and I believe that's where the Steelers really need to improve. Me watching the Steelers over the years, I've been really disappointed at how much times a wide receiver, tight end, just anyone has been wide open for a huge 20-yard play with no one even near. Just Steelers guys losing their guys in man-to-man coverage, in zone coverage, and then a huge play happen. And now, hopefully addressing cornerback and safety positions early in this draft helps aid the Steelers and allows a true lockdown defense in general. The Steelers have a great defensive line, outside linebackers per pass rush, but just say the pass rush can't get to the quarterback. You want to have a secondary to be able to lock things down. And now, hopefully with Deonte Banks becoming number 1 wide receiver, Emmanuel Forbes being the number 2 wide receiver, and Jordan Battle playing strong safety, the Steelers really have difference makers in the secondary. So, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about this mock draft? And do you believe the Steelers should go this route? Do you believe they should double dip at cornerback, address offensive tackle, and also get a strong safety? Or do you believe the Steelers should shake it up, go defensive line, or what do you think they should do in this year's NFL mock draft? Let me know your predictions down below in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content and analysis reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for this channel as well so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. Click the bell down below so you never miss out. I've been covering all of free agency. I have one more mock draft to do. My last mock draft is what I believe will actually happen in the draft. So, turn on notifications, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.